I mean, we have to. It's up to them to put in the performance at the end of the day.
That's true. We can only make light of their win condition here. Whether or not they execute towards it to the latter, that is not in our grasp. And besides, we do much worse.
Well, the cutoff, I would still say the cutoff is that if you get 60 points, you're pretty much there. So, can you get 60 or 56 points in 2 games if you're NFT? Probably yeah. But
let's just sure. 15 with 15 kills. You get dinner with 15 kills for 2 games, then you get a 60, right?
Yeah. But can you realistically do it? That'll be the question mark, right?
Hey man, like you said, this game's full of surprises.
Oh yeah.
We've seen how Eagle Esports, to be honest, last season they weren't this hot. They were one of those teams who get like a few moments, single moment, and they make it up big time. And so because this is such a short format, that moment could be today. That could pay out, right? Because if it's a whole league run, then you could be hot on one day and you could be absolutely average or even garbage the next 3 days down the road, and that's gonna eat into your overalls. But this one is a one-day thing. Eagle Esports, they play the short bursted sprint.
I think you make a good point on this is a one-day thing, right? We're used to seeing like leagues, a 3-week league and a 3-day grand finale. But we're not used to seeing a one day. So there's some teams that I think they're known to not do well if it's like a short-term tournament. BTR hasn't been known to do well in short terms. They are a league team. Even Boyka, their previous coach, also mentioned that, okay, their weakness is warming up. So in a day where you only have 5 games and that 5 games determine your livelihood for the entire season, it's going to be tough for these kind of teams.
So and it's looking like it. Look at that, and maybe you could also fold like the like it's very competitive. We've even seen some of the good teams within our country, like Team Secret, not doing all too hot as well.
Yeah.
I guess it's time to adapt towards the new system and always bring in the A game. As tiring as it may be, I'm thinking that they should even come in with like a 10-man roster to go in rotations every now and then, just to make sure that they're not burnt out in a league system.
Yeah, I do remember like the recent league system that every game matters in a 5-day match. It's really tiring. It's really draining. But what's not draining is TGB. They don't look like they're draining. In fact, their first game not hot. But after that, they just go all the way.
Yeah, that first game was just a teaser here. But look at their positioning from TJB. Chasin already trying to occupy the top side of the tower. Coming in from a flank. And Tingsker as well. Stood in that grass. Man, he saw a name lying through above him. It's like everyone's main reaction to try and make way from it, so you don't get clipped. But he just stood there and took it like a champ.
But let's see. This is like the champs going against the champs. So BTR the previous champs against TJB, who's the
Astia caliber team.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very evenly matched if you look at it on paper.
Sure. But however, BTR has gone dramatically changed things since their heyday. So maybe reserve some side of a little bit reserved in that aspect. This is a slightly new roster, especially after they picked up U High Boy and Ryzen not in the entire active roster. So I would hold some reservation in that sense. However, I mean, when it comes down to a 4v4 team fight, it doesn't matter who the players are, you just have to get it done.
Yeah, position-wise, it does look an advantage to BTR. They have more of the high ground as compared to TJB. TJB has one of them in the lower ground with the compound. But it's still the first circle anyway. It doesn't really matter because it might chip away. And that's where we'll see whether they still want to continue on the fight or not. Which, very unlikely for it to happen. As players, they don't know how many teams are left, but they know how many players are left in the game. And if you see 64, it's obviously still 16 teams. It's not worth to take those fights.
I don't think it's going to be an easy task for BTR. I think what TJB is trying to do is someone's being chased out there, and so his friend can play on the low ground. Because if BTR were to overcommit and try to Dawson's going to get it directly shot. So it's hard. That's why just and not make the push against each other. But we'll see how things play out as the next circle would close in. And it seems to be closing towards the likes of Infinity. Again, another one of those scary teams who has been super consistent throughout this whole event.
Yep, but I'm giving the benefit of doubt to NFT. They had the circle as well. And they're kind of happy on the left side. Not many teams could challenge them on that area. So coming back to TJB versus BTR, looks like BTR they decide to move, and rightfully so because they are the team on the outside of the circle.
Oh, shots have been connected though. Is that coming out from TJB? And if that's so, then man, they are pretty sharp on the eyes as well. I mean, they should be. They are right now in the #1 team in the entire overall rankings. However, only second to that is Halo Esports at the same 46 amount of points. So still very volatile as we speak in terms of positioning. Oh, he goes down with the tap.
So if let's say if we take 60 and 14, 60. That's all top 3 teams need. Assuming that they can pull all those points, there's a high probability that it could be locked in before the final round.
And that's where it kills all the suspense. Ah, man. That always happens.
Blame the production for putting the points up there. We're still like, no, let's analyze it a bit more.
We shouldn't say that. I don't want them blocking it out. I hate not knowing. I hate not knowing.
What if they block out like the top 10 and you go like, no, now you have to manually count.
They did that though. They did that in the official league. So I like knowing. I think knowing is very nice. Players would know. Yeah. We do.
But what's not nice is, trust me, again, going out early. Remember the rotation they did in the previous round? He was the first one to go out. So it looks like it's going to be deja vu for that guy.
I guess they don't trust him.
Really not.
But he's so far out from his friends that he was the conversation like, hey, let me go. I wouldn't trust him. We
trust you, bro. Dude, trust me.
He did scout them out. He got info. I'm not sure what they can do with that information. Well, now Genesis his friends and allies. Hierarchy of BTR. He is going into areas with the red aliens.
Do it, trust me. Immediately retreats. Friends. TJB on the other hand, second round, round 2 against Space Clan.
I guess FaZe was their kryptonite. Previously, they didn't have to fight against FaZe. I think maybe FaZe is that one team who can stop TJB. We don't know yet. The
circle's still fairly big. We still have a lot of space to play with. But TJB may need to face up against RSG coming in from behind.
Yeah, it's gonna be sandwich, but FaZe will be helping out the like actually seeing a stuff. That rotation has been scouted out, will be fired down, but it will that far B, but will not go down anytime soon. So TJB actually made a quick exit, recognizing that foe was right ahead of them, and it's just open field to play around with. It's an impossible entry there, so they will take their fight here, in which RSG Kim has been spotted.
RSG playing from the outside, trying to get into the circle, but some of them still stuck. They need to find a way in, but unfortunately, the gatekeepers is TGB. As Thing will get one onto Rex, RSG.
이게 이거 보이죠 거기. 내려자 이거.
They're like balanced. Like, I can't find the flaws in them. Like the way they take fights, it's very methodical. Like they've thought things through in terms of their positioning and how they're gonna hold things. Meanwhile, the next is getting some sort of a fight as well. Yeah, still on their knees, but that's one member down in this compound fight.
TJB playing some sort of gatekeeping role. So they might be teams might do so as well. BTR on the other hand managed to find a way into the circle safely. Still 4 of them still intact. But on the other side, there's the Infinity, another team that they often meet, I'd say. They met many times in the previous SC Championship. So, no aliens to each other, despite them being the Bigatron Red Alien.
Mathematical equation. That is a pi. Infinity or the Red Aliens themselves.
Wow.
But math exists everywhere and within us. It's just a law, right?
Yeah, including on other planets, right? that's how the aliens got to know math. For all you know, we speak the same language. There's math.
We're gonna put on TikTok. Which eagles are flying about? It is Eagle Esports right now. They have the entire skies in their control, and you can see one flying towards them. It's a warning shot. Oh, that was right in front of his face, and that was connect. What a huge blow that one. A jump shot to end it all. He's on his knees and will eventually go down. Gets burned, he says. Eagle Esports. Although they serve turkey, today.
Eagle Esports, they'll be happy to take those points as they want to secure the top 3 spot into the next stage. But the circle still favors Infinity. They still have some on the circle. But other than that, Hail is in there.
Oh, man. Hail. Just a hailstorm of lucky days so far. Well, I wouldn't call it lucky. They did get the circle in. Right? And so they're going to get it again. However, Hail has So add that 2 and 2 together, you get an absolutely destructive combo here. Infinity now shooting against the aliens. Maybe they're just the sole thumb in the scene of, well, meanwhile, the Nexus goes in.
Oh, I saw what Snappy tried to do. He tried to come in for another angle, hoping to catch somebody off guard in the middle. But unfortunately, they saw him coming. He knew exactly where to shoot, and then he went down. That's down to Ferrari against low. If you were to depend on anyone from Genexus to win fights, it's definitely going to be low.
Unfortunately, it had to be low. You two getting taken out. These two are what it takes. They're the recipe for success for Genexus. And with only Lung on his own, I'm not sure how well they're going to fare against this. And now they might even have time to pick out a member on their own. Boy, just crawling into safety. And it seems like they might just get away with a full 4-man squad. Nobody dying in the process. So Genexus probably a bit more off than they could chew. Meanwhile, Yuhai going up against the Eagles here. We'll scout them out. A warning shot, maybe to stay up on the tree branches or so. Don't land onto the ground. It's theirs to play around with.
Asking him to go back to Korea. Unfortunately, he'll be out. But Eagles, they still have decent amount of points. They are still in this round, though, so don't count out just yet. But talking about teams that you don't want to count out is TJB. Gordon being gunned down by one of the team members from Homeboys, but they're not out just yet. At the same time, 1 sec. Circle. They need to move quickly. High ground.
Some of these members, that's BTR. Taken out by Infinity. Meanwhile, Esports has got problems of their own here. It seems like they have been shooting. I believe that was probably BTR or Luxy. Oh, there we go.
Newsy, he ain't snoozing to secure the elimination point to Twans. And Luke gets a win onto Ferrari. Luke won that fight, but he's not done yet. Looking at the elimination point or the elimination feed, Homeboy's trying to go for the high ground. RSG, they are sharing the same compound as Hale.
Yeah,
Luke gets 2.
Yeah. What about the TJB? They lost the map and now he's back up and they have this in the high ground that the compound they were holding on to. Theirs to play around with, and it's quite of a good vantage point, I'd say. As great as he will finally bow out here for Genexus. One elimination, so he hard carried that teammates. But look at TGB and the compound they get to play around with. They even have one member already deployed down in the low ground to come in with some flanks. So Homeboys, how are they gonna take this fight?
Oh, Homeboys and TJB again. This is like almost a deja vu of the previous round. The circle, in favor, looks like goes to NFT. Needs all the points, all the luck they can get in this round.
Homeboys don't want to fight. They want to immediately make their way into the circle. They know they can beat it because Talent Esports. They take a couple of members of their own margin is making a move onto this hangar. This silo here. Can they make things work here? Margin. Can it be the cleanup crew that they so desperately need to be?
Low-key, okay. Oh, Eagle. They're not out. I think they managed to get 3 eliminations. Low-key. Low-key goes down despite the preemptive shot. Down to Romeo. Romeo on the left. Romeo is one by someone on the right. Is there to take down Romeo, and Romeo must die.
Margin Esports, and well, in the story, Romeo did die, I think, alongside with Juliet.
No spoilers, man.
Wait, Romeo and Juliet?
Wow. Bruh, it's a season of no spoilers. Don't do it.
But that's an old tale, right? And then they revive themselves, which is something we know that's going to happen in the next map.
Oh, they did that?
Yeah, you did. You have never read Romeo and Juliet, man. Childhood to catch up to.
Actually,
I think it was Juliet that played dead. And then Romeo never showed up. So, okay, you know what? No spoilers. Meanwhile, this is the highlight of the evening here. TJB now going up against Homeboys. A battle in which we've seen many a times now, but the tables have turned. Is now FaZe. There's positioned themselves right next to TJB. Could be the thorn in the bush here. One of them a sore thumb to try and push onto Homeboys while FaZe is just knocking on their side windows. And so it's not going to be an easy thing to do. Meanwhile, Hale Esports, die hard. Seemingly going down pretty easy, jumping straight at the bullet. And now, member of FaZe getting taken out. That's BR11. 5 kill streak dominating by the side of Hale Esports. Just raking in the points. Meanwhile, Talent Esports going up against Like Blue.
Oh, Like Blue.
Oh my
Unfortunately, they
God.
couldn't stick together well enough. And then we Chad the place for the How's it like home? The circle will shift next. 6 elimination points for Talent. Being eliminated
TJB has broken into compound of Homeboys. So they are down on level floor, level playing field, which means FaZe cannot not come in as a third party as they are on the other side of the map. Actually, still very much across the entire Rocky Dunes. So, well, getting shot down right now. It seems that FaZe, they had the upper ground. Play around with the just keep surprising it. They get stuck on board. Unfortunately, trajectory is wrong. They could just well.
Sal, is he going to go for it?
Ooh, please just go up. CL7, go up with the jump. Nice. They don't forward. It's a smoke, I think.
Oh, that's a stun grenade. Against what? Oh, wait a second. Oh, he's still managed to get it. But the shot came from behind. Who was it? It was Tom from Homeboys. People using the stun. Well, we really stunned the entire audience. TJB, they may be bound out, but they've done spectacular so far, which means Hale Esports
looking like the better half. Actually, Hill has already bowed out.
ဇုံဝင်မှုအတွက်ကိုတော့ခင်းနေတာတော့ခင်းတာ
NFT
တမောက်လေးလုံးတော့ခင်းတာနော်
coming through. Your prediction of the stock market.
ဝယ်လို့မလွယ်ဘူး
Finally coming
လွယ်လောက်
တစ်ပွဲလုံးစောက်
Oh yeah, they have the combo, they have the circle.
Yeah,
At the same
it's
time,
out,
now they need to defend against Homeboy, who's trying to move in. Tam,
Magic.
Off the fame at the same time. John, who gets one for himself. Just a pixel shot there. Makes the takedown now.
Yeah, it's looking like run soon enough here. This is looking like every environment, every situation.
သူ့ attention မရှိသေးလားသူ့အာယုံမရှိသေးလားအကုန်လုံးကလွတ်နေ
bits and pieces from the sideline.
ဆိုတော့တော့တော့တိုင်နေပြီသေးတော့4ဖြစ်သွားရ
The
တော့
center side of the circle. Everyone else playing from the open. Everyone's just pushing into impenetrable fortress at this point.
နုဖြစ်ကြပါအရင်ဖြစ်ကြ
But they need more. Let's see if they
စုံ
can
စုံပါသေးတယ်လားစုံပါသေးတယ်လုံးဝတော့တိုင်နေတာ
It is 4
ဒီပါလေး
eliminations
ပါလေး
left.
တဘာပုံ
So
လေး
back
ရှိ
when
အဲ
they
တဘာ
can
ပုံလေးတော့
go
ဝင်
is 10 eliminations in
Yeah,
total. Definitely will take that. But let's see if they can secure all of them. Now, Homeboy, secure the elimination point. Looks like he will let
Kau ni lose ah?
4 base
Tu dun ni dah. Kau dun ni dah.
Definitely
Belum
secure the
buat
chicken
pick up,
dinner.
belum.
Only 2 left from the other side.
4-1 ရအောင်ဖြစ်
My
နေ
God, this they call you a chartist because
တပင်လေး
ဝင်းပြောင်းနေနိုင်နိုင်ပါ
Especially
Ủa,
with
bác
another
Phu
game
Con
still
này
left
là
in the day here.
YouTube
They
một chi
can
đồng
try and make things work with a miracle
what?
run.
So what?
ဆက်တူးရရင်တော့တန်သွားပြီလားဆက်တူးရကြည့်ဦးဒါဆက်တူးရရင်တော့တန်သွားပြီစောက်ရမ်းတန်သွားဆက်တူးရ
This one and the
Ai,
one
Tora.
after this. Can they do it? Can they
Ủa, sao
break
lại cắt
into
qua
the
mà thế
top
à?
3
39
position
second rồi, chạy
and
à,
qualify onto the C championship?
ဟိုရဟိုနေ
ဒါအိမ်ရလည်းမိုက်တယ်ဒီဘက်မှာဂရေမောက်မရှိဘူးဗျာဒီလားအဲ့တော့ဘက်မှာဂရေမောက်မရှိဘူးအဲ့တော့အတန်းရှင်းကမာရှာဖိတ်စီမရှိဘူးကွာစောကြီးကသူလွတ်
In a prime position. Okay, now the circle move into no man's land, but then again, they have a full squad. They just need to go all
Oh,
out
we're
onto
mailing.
ဟိုကောင်မဲနေတာတကယ်
go onto the other. It's not too hard of a task for NFT at this point.
They're not too far from the circle too. They can't just hold in this
bây giờ
out
bắn này
until
đi.
someone has to
They're gonna
make the eventual push.
ရှူးနေရှူးနေ
ရောက်နေအားချောင်းတာဘာမှမဟုတ်မသိ
These
မသိ
two other teams, Genesis and Lit, they don't have much to work around with. They can't even send
ကဲ
one
ပါ
guy
တဲ
to
လေး
go
လက်မ
up
လေးဟာဟာလေးနဲ့ကျွန်တော်ဒါမာရှာဖိတ်လေးကိုအားပေးကြအောင်
Everything
ဒီမနဲ့လုံးလုံးလေးဒီမကြီးနဲ့လုံးလုံးလေး
မကြီးနဲ့လှုပ်လှုပ်လာ
be the one that kicks it in the butt to kick the NFT's bucket.
အာရောတကယ်ကြိုးစားနေရတော့တကယ်ကြိုးစားနေတာ
Second place, right? Obviously, but okay.
ပြပြန်တော့လေဟောပြန်တော့လိုက်နေတယ်ဟိုတိုင်းရမကောင်းဆုံးနဲ့ဘောတော့လုံးသွားတာဟောတက်မှာချက်သွေးရက်တက်မှာချက်သွေးရက်တက်တယ်တိုင်း
Bag. I mean, NFT.
ကြီးကပုံမှန်လေးသွားတယ်ဗန်လေးသွားတယ်စစ်ပြီးတော့ဆိုပွဲတိုင်း
Well, he is tanking the blue zone. He's just healing up. So,
Oh yeah.
well, they can do absolutely
Ủa, thế
nothing.
dùng
It's
đua
so
mà
close
hả?
to get away with it.
ဒီ
At
ဒီ
this
ကြီးကတော့
point.
နိုင်ပြီ
But
ပွဲ
this somewhat tells you the mentality of a team,
နိုင်ပါ
right?
ပြီ
Congratulations, NFT Esports getting themselves
ဒီပွဲရောက်တကယ်တန်ပါတယ်ဗျာတယောက်တည်းနဲ့လုံးဝချက်သွေးရောက်သွားလိုက်ကြတော့တန်တယ်ပြောလို့ရတယ်
keep them in running.
ဒီပွဲက2မှတ် survive က10မှတ်လောက်ရမယ်10မှတ်လောက်ပေါင်းမယ်
Right now, it depends on what happens in the next round. They need to pull off a big one in the next round as well. But anyway, regardless whatever happens, you still go for with this poster, winner chicken dinner for NFT Esports.
ညာကြီးဆို
And you pull out this poster up against all those teams that we just mentioned.